Right, let's see if these good folk can hear us, Palmer, because if they can't, it's going to be a long old watch along.
But on nil of them.
None of them. But you said it was a watch along, not a listen along. How very dare we?
Hello, Dave, from wherever the hell you're from.
Idiotville! Big Dave from Idiotville.
Nil of them.
But you.
Hello. We are back and it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday afternoon and the sun is shining where I am. Don't know about you people. As we're watching along to a National Development Trophy meeting tonight between Plymouth and Birmingham. These two teams met last evening at Birmingham.
There it is. There's the accent. Sam Ermolenko, is that you?
At Birmingham. So they're just gonna tell us all what happened.
It was very much a tale of two meetings last night, to be honest. Birmingham were fantastic in the first half, pulling out a 16-point lead by heat 8, a lead they would hold on to until after heat number 10. The last race before the interval saw Plymouth pull 2 points back, but Birmingham still held a 14-point lead. However, we came out of the interval, the track had been absolutely saturated, the riders weren't happy with how it looked from Birmingham's side, and so it showed. A 4-2 back to Plymouth straight after the interval. 3-2 back to Birmingham with two riders falling in heat 12 because of the track. And then 5-1s to Plymouth in 13 and 15, sandwiched between a shared heat 14. Made it a very modest 7-point loss for the Centurions on a night where they were second best, particularly in the first, I'd say the first 2/3 of the meeting. They were way out of it, but the track preparation at the interval cost the home team. And we've said this before, Birmingham's track staff are helping the opposition more than they're helping the Brummies with how they're preparing the track. It's awful. So that's how we stand going into tonight. And Birmingham would have wanted a bigger lead to bring for the aggregate point tonight, because as we're about to discuss, Palmer, they're very depleted.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Do you want me to do the Bulls and you do the Centurions for this one?
Go on then.
So for the Birmingham Ducktair Bulls, it's rider replacement at number 1 for Darryl Richings, who's signed out on concussion protocol. Aaron Butcher rides at number 2, Sam McGurk rides at number 3. It's a newcomer to National League standard racing at number 4 with a lack of rider availability for this evening. Joe Crew, one of the Birmingham second half racers, gets the call up to number 4 to guest in place of Max James, who has an exam. Standing skipper for the evening, Tom Spencer, goes at number 5. Senna Summers rides at number 6, but did have himself an uncomfortable off last night where he smashed his ghoulies off his bike and had to pull out of the meeting. He also blew his engine up. And Eli Meadows rides at number 7. Palmer, your Birmingham bull to watch.
So I've gone for Sam McGurk tonight. From when I looked at the updates last night, Sam McGurk was certainly a man on form, and he's ridden Plymouth before, so he should be one to trouble the scorers that aren't Joe Thompson or Ben Trigger.
Cooper Russian last night was absolutely flying, and the only rider to beat him was Sam McGurk, who out-trapped him and pulled clear of him. And that was a very smart ride from Sam. His confidence is up. I'm going to go with the standing skipper, Tom Spencer. He used to do a lot of racing around Wolves in second halves and stuff, and I know Plymouth's a little bit smaller, but he's used to tighter technical circuits. So I think he'll be fine here this evening.
For sure. And the Plymouth Centurions, their number 1 is Joe Thompson, going from the Premiership last night to the National Trophy tonight.
The life of a speedway rider, eh?
Rider replacement at number 2. At number 3 is Kai Ward. At number 4, they've not spelt his name right in the graphics on the screen, but that's Mickey Simpson. At number 5 is Ben Trigger. At number 6 is Charlie Southwick. And at number 7, D&D Media's own Ryan Ingram.
Who's
So
your
have
man
you
to
got
watch?
a...
You can go first, I'll let you.
I've gone for, if I remember right, Mickey Simpson.
You have.
He's getting... He's doing really well for the Steelers in the National League at the minute. And... he got himself a maximum or paid maximum on Friday, so he's not doing bad.
He's not. He's definitely not. It was a bit of a weird one last night. It was there or thereabouts, but I don't know how many times he's ridden Birmingham, but it took him a couple of races to get up to speed. But he was threatening once he got up to speed, and definitely deserved more than the... Let me check what he scored last night, because he definitely deserved more than the 6 points he got last in his first race and then 3 second places after that. So consistent. My rider to watch is Ben Trigger. He was consistent last night as well in his first 3 races before popping out and winning heat 13 quite quickly, and then got a paid win in heat 15 as well. I said to my pal who I was with last night that there was going to be a point where Trigger sorted his gating out, got out in front and shot clear, and he did in 13. He looked really, really good, and he's well rested as well. He didn't have the long travel down to Birmingham yesterday for the meeting. He stayed there overnight on Sunday. I think he travelled part way back to Plymouth last night and then stopped off, so he's not had the full journey from Birmingham to Plymouth to do today either. So I think he's going to be well rested. Although I wouldn't be surprised to see Ingram do a thing or two here. He's as we both know, he's done a lot of laps around Plymouth this year with practices and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be nice to see Ryan have a decent meeting. But
I said this just about Mickey Simpson, but Ingram deserved more points than he got last night as well. The effort was 100% there, and it was quite interesting. We spoke to Ingram after the meeting in our little group chat with him, and he said that the track was different after every race. He won't have that tonight. He'll know what to expect from this circuit.
yeah, for sure. Mind you, I believe this is the Centurions' first home meeting of the year.
It is, yeah, and we said we'd give it a plug because our good friend Andy Haig is the fella doing the streaming on behalf of Plymouth. So if you want to watch the meeting, you can buy it through Gladiators TV. This is a trial run to see what the intake is like for these sort of meetings, and if the demand is there, that they'll do more of them. So if you enjoy watching this, or have got nothing to do on your Tuesday night or whatever, go and check out the stream. It's available for $13.99, and Andy Haig's one of the nicest fellas in Speedway, and we've both got a lot of time for him.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Andy's sound.
It's the crew.
Joe's wearing an old.
It's the crew that wears the Max Clegg Kevlars.
Get in.
What Scuddy are represented everywhere they go.
Get in.
And then Sam McGurk ruins it with them Bellevue ones on. Spencer and Joe having a little bit of a laugh at the coin toss. We don't know who's won it because we have to watch on mute. And if anyone comes in this chat and starts asking for us to show the action, they're going to get a slap. I recognise that fella on the spanners for Joe.
Yeah, he looks very familiar, doesn't he?
He looks very much like his twin brother, doesn't he?
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
There's a lot of pals around this Plymouth team, ain't there? Ingram has a very good relationship with the Thompson boys.
Yeah, and Mickey Simpson, to be fair.
And Mickey, yeah. These are right. I've noticed with the balls I watch a lot. I don't know about much other of the National League stuff, but you know, you can tell they're young kids just enjoying their racing. There is so much camaraderie between the balls team. I don't know if it's the same with your National League team, but it's like they're just kids going out and enjoying what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, till about heat 10 of our National League meeting on Friday, it was just a bunch of lads going out and having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Until they all started complaining about the track.
Which, to be fair, had hosted 15 heats of Premiership racing, Championship racing even, plus, you know, 10 heats of National League racing, and it was an extremely... Is that our logo on the bottom of Ingram's fork covers? I've never noticed. It looks like it.
I'm not sure, you know.
I'm going to try and find a picture of Ingram's racing now. See if I can see if it is our logo or not. It looks like our logo, but he might have somebody else in red. Our logo is nicely on his right forearm, though.
It is bang on, isn't it?
It's very nice. Nice positioning. Ingram's a good lad. Get on really well with him. Hence, we've sponsored him this year.
Oh, I could tell you a story about Ryan, but it's probably not for a PG audience.
I know this. It's not our logo on his front covers.
That's a bit racist.
To D&D Media.
Everything we've done for him.
Yeah, the joys, but I do think it's everything in the favour of Plymouth here tonight. Alan's in the comments. Big Al.
Hey guys, it's me, Big Al.
Evening, boys. Hope you both well. Followed with not really kept up with National League level or National Trophy Speedway, so interested to see how these riders get on. Well, Al, you'll get to hear how these riders get on. You can't see how they get on because, like we told Dave, we can't show it.
Yeah, Dave.
What a penis, Dave. We're back Thursday as well. Watching the other Birmingham team, probably the worst of the two Birmingham teams. As we're going to be doing a watch along to the Oxford Spires versus the Birmingham Brummies. And this evening, Birmingham have announced the signing of Ben Barker to replace Michael Epson-Ensign, who we've recently started working for as well.
All coming full circle, innit?
It is, yeah.
Anyway, you say the worst of the Birmingham teams on Thursday. They're not racing against the Buffaloes.
You leave the Buffaloes alone. Mickey Simpson's a tall fella, isn't he?
When your best pal is Cyber Lambert,
you've got a point.
If you're going to be tall, you're going to be drinking 40 cans of Red Bull a day and smoking 80 fags.
Winchester's got us a shout out on the Plymouth stream. What a boy.
What a boy.
And on our thumbnail as well, we've got to give a shout out to Andy Haig for the image of Ingram. Head and shoulder shots of Plymouth Centurions in particular have been really difficult. So that's the image Andy sent me yesterday that they're using on the stream tonight. And the Birmingham Bulls one of Eli Meadows was taken at Birmingham last night by Chloe Cawthorne. So thanks to her as well, because National Trophy pictures are so difficult to get. It's been an absolute pain in our arse this year, isn't it, trying to get head and shoulder shots of riders?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And then you pay someone to get us these shots and they don't deliver.
Talking of deliveries. Al, Palmer's got a bone to pick with you. That looks like Ingram is the rider replacement for Plymouth in Heat 1, and it is Tom Spencer, the rider replacement for Darryl Richings.
Tell you, your Birmingham Bulls team is basically Oxford Chargers 2.0.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? 3 Oxford riders, 2, they are Cleggies, old Kev, as you can see the big fluorescent Clegg across Joe Crew's back. It is essentially Oxford and Leicester Lion Cubs combined.
But yeah, I thought we'd had done enough Oxford, especially after seeing them twice on Friday.
There's a story I told you about Tom Spencer from last night, which really tickled me. We'll get into that a little bit later on. I'll try and make a PG version of said story. I don't know who was on the spanners for Senna tonight. I know Luke Killeen was on the spanners for him last night.
Senna Summers almost looks like Luke Killeen.
You can see the resemblance with that hair, can't you?
Yeah.
Alan says in the comments, do tell. We'll message you in our group chat tomorrow, Al. And it is Ingram, the rider replacement for Plymouth. The RRs for the Bulls can be taken by any of the team. Darryl's the top average rider in the Bulls team. The rider replacements for the Centurions can be taken by Charlie Southwick and Ryan Ingram, and Kai Ward is the rider above, yeah. And Plymouth are off 1 and 3 in Heat 1. So for the first time, I think this is probably the first. We have done National League before. This is definitely the first National Trophy we've ever done. And the lineup for the first National Trophy meeting we've ever done, going off gate 1 in blue for the Centurions, Ryan Ingram, gate 2 in red for the Bulls, Aaron Butcher, gate 3 in yellow, Aaron Butcher, gate 3 in red is Joe Thompson, and off the outside in white, the rider replacement, Tom Spencer.
The tapes right away we go for heat number 1. It's a solid start there for Joe Thompson, as you'd probably expect, and Ryan Ingram there joining him in the second place position, being chased down by Tom Spencer as they go down the back straight. Ingram's now starting to pull away from Tom Spencer here, and this is a perfect start for the Plymouth Centurions here at the St Boniface Arena. Joe Thompson's out there in front, and to be honest, if Joe Thompson doesn't go through the card tonight, he wants shooting on the spot. As we go into the next lap, the Centurions still on a 5-1, and they're certainly going to pull that 7-point gap now down to not 7 as they go into the last lap. And, well, this is, barring any form of mechanical failures, this is going to be a Tapes to Flag podcast coming soon win for Joe Thompson, as the Centurions take a 5-1.
Here's a story about Ingram that he said to us yesterday. He said he was going to go last night and get a maximum. I genuinely think he has the potential to go and get a maximum tonight here. He looked very good then, and it was done from the gate, and obviously you saw Ingram in amateur meetings at Scunny. He never used to be very good from the gate. He's worked on that and he's improved that.
About time, really.
and he can take a few rides as well. Reserves can have up to 7. So the result of heat number 1 was a win for the rider in red, Joe Thompson. Second in blue, Ryan Ingram, and third in white, Tom Spencer. 5-1 to the Centurions after 1 heat.
That it is.
I see what you mean about this. It's really strange, isn't it?
It is.
that was all done from the gate. Butcher made an awful one and Spencer weren't much better, but the Centurions were gone. Joe Thompson, as you say, should go through the card. I thought Tom was going to do Ingram there, but it's a bit too early to be going out there yet.
Yeah, 100%. And Ryan, to be fair, just kept it held on, and that was that. Oh, we've got about 10 people in the crowd.
There's a decent looking crowd there, actually. There's some on the back straight, some here. There's definitely more here than there was at Perry Bar last night. The crowd at Birmingham, 50 people max were at Perry Bar last night. The rest was staff. The aggregate score, by the way, 46 to the Centurions, 49 to the Bulls. And I said to you and I said to Winchester before this started, I reckon Plymouth is 60 tonight. I stand by that.
I mean, 5 points down, 55 to go.
It's true. It's very true.
Or in the Bulls' case, 1 down, another 20 to go. I'll grow up one day.
Yeah, I'm sure
Today,
you will.
Today is not that day.
It's not a bad crowd, really, for a Centurions meeting. There's a few in the grandstand and there's a few on the back straight. The easiest watch-along we'll ever do this, because races are about 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're not very long at Plymouth, are they?
Nah, it's a small one. It reminds me so much of the mini track at Scunner. Trigger looks chilled.
Well, I should hope he is chilled after having about 84 beers with Nigel Tolley on Sunday night.
And as we now know, Tolley found the wrong Ben. Someone said Ben, Plymouth, Tolley. Oh, Trigger? No, not him.
No, not quite.
Wrong Ben. We've got 6 people watching. I can't see who that referee is. I'll be honest. It's Dave. Oh, God. Christ on a bike. Let's hope nobody decides to stack it tonight so he doesn't have any decisions to make. That's where we start getting in trouble.
Is that Charlie Southwick come off? Or David Howe excluded?
Legend, that is David Howe. We will have a run through of what watch-alongs with. There's Andy Dugmore on the centre green.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Ingram goes from gate 1 in heat
4.
1 to heat 4 to gate 4. I couldn't ride it. I couldn't even walk around this track. It's too narrow. I'd stand by the outside fence and my stomach would be somewhere hanging over the white line on the inside. Line up for heat number 2, going off the inside gate in white is Senna Summers. Gate 2 in red, Charlie Southwick. Gate 3 in yellow, Eli Meadows. And off the outside in blue, paid winning heat 1, Ryan Ingram. Charlie Southwick got better as the meeting went on last night as well. Started quite slowly. He took the rider replacement in heat 1 last night. So Barry Bishop swapping it around tonight and putting Ingram out. But Charlie Southwick definitely ended the meeting better than he started it last night. So I'm interested to see how he gets on here.
And I've only seen Charlie Southwick once and he binned it at Redcar and that was it. Tapes right, so heat number 2. And it's a very solid start there for Charlie Southwick.
Carnage!
As Eli Meadows gone down and Dave Waters has got a wrong decision to make. Or has he? Has he got up? Yeah, Reds are out.
Reds are on. That was bunching all day of the week. That's bunching.
Now, with you and me, that is bunching.
With Dave Waters, Ingram.
With Uncle Dave
in a good start.
Uncle Dave in the box, Lawrence will be excluded.
Let's have another. For me, on first call, that's bunching, and he's cleaned out by Charlie Southwick, in my opinion.
Mm.
And Charlie Southwick had got the lead as well. Senna made a bad start, but for me, that's all full back. Will Big Dave see it that way? Not Big Daddy Dave, because Big Daddy Dave's not an idiot. But this fella is, and it looks like Eli's bog's being wheeled off.
No, Big Daddy Dave isn't an idiot. His son is, though.
Eli's bog's gone back to the pits. I think he's been excluded. and we talk about Dan Thompson. He's guesting for Oxford on our next watch along in place of Craig Cook, which in my opinion makes Oxford just a touch stronger.
Yeah, just a tad.
I think it's going to be 3 riders only for the rerun. Eli's bike's gone, and he had waited there. It's now been took off the track. I think he's been excluded.
Well, it looks like Lawrence is on the phone to Uncle Dave.
Lawrence is having another bad decision. Yep, that's Eli out then. Lawrence is somebody that doesn't particularly hide his emotions well. Me and Lawrence had a laugh actually last night about some bad refereeing decisions, and yeah, I can imagine Lawrence's displeasure at that, and we'll know if he's displeased because there'll be a Facebook post going on after the meeting. He's not shy about saying what he thinks is a. I mean, look how tight that first turn is. For me, that's where's he supposed to go?
I mean, that first bend is tighter than an Un's private parts, and they're pretty tight.
I don't know where he's supposed to go there. What's Dave Waters expect him to do? Lift the bike up and fly over everybody?
Maybe.
The state of some of the officiating in British Speedway is laughable, and we won't even mention Christina Turnbull from Saturday. Doug Moore's just messaged, it's bloody raining now.
Well, you should have just bought the stream instead of travelling 9,000 miles to go.
This has got a... Oh, yeah, it is. Rerun of heat number 2. Senna Summers, the lone Birmingham Bull off gate 1 in red. Charlie Southwick, gate 1 in white. Gate 2 in red is Charlie Southwick, and gate 4 in blue, Ryan Ingram. It's the red background that Andy's put with the balls. It's really distracting.
So, heat number 2, we'll try again. When they get the cameras working. Thanks, peeps. Start Marshall's jacket looks a little bit tight on him as he walks away for heat number 2. And the tape fly away we go. It's a solid start there for Senna Summers that currently has the lead. Charlie Southwick now trying to blast around the outside, not quite worked out. Ingram's there in the third place position, and you can really see how the rain's starting to affect.
It's absolutely pissing it down.
It's raining all right. And yes, Senna Summers still currently has the lead, even though he smashed his balls up yesterday, which was painful by the sounds of things. And what the bloody hell's Charlie Southwick? Fair play to him, he held on to that. Ryan Ingram's getting slower and slower as this race goes on. He's certainly not as effective as he was in the opening heat of the afternoon. As Senna Summers, he's got 1 lap left to go. I can't remember if he was riding in the under-21 qualifier here, actually. I can't really remember.
He did, yeah, because there was all that stink up about him. There should have been a run-off, and there wasn't.
For me, because he was born in Aussie, he shouldn't have been in it, but, you know. Does someone want to tell Charlie Southwick
the checkered flags come out, yeah. The rain's really coming down. It looks difficult out there. This is going to be giving you deja vu for the meeting you brought the Gladiators against Redcar when it got right the way to by start time and got called off.
Not quite that much PTSD. We've had 2 races.
You got a point. You have a point. Charlie Southwick did 2 laps too many. Heat 2 was won by the rider in white, Senna Summers. Second in red, Charlie Southwick, and third in blue, Ryan Ingram. Points divided 3 apiece. 8 points to 4 progressively. Charlie Southwick saying 4 laps. You told me it was 5.
Well, maybe he should have. Oh, who was it the other day? Somebody. Oh, it was Mitchell Clough at Workington. He had heat 2 won. He'd done 3 laps and then he virtually stopped.
Oh God! This is why you don't try and count the laps. You just look at the flags. If the start marshal holds out the wrong flag, that's on them. If you try and count the laps and guess it, that's on you.
And as an experienced start marshal myself, 10 years in the game, it's very, very, very hard to count the laps. It sounds so hard because you're only counting to 4, but
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah,
It's
I
a
can believe
difficult
that, to
gig.
be honest. Oh, you know what's a difficult gig? Joe Crew in his National Development Trophy debut off gate 4 in these conditions. Heat 3 going off the inside gate in blue, Mickey Simpson. Gate 2 in white, Sam McGurk. Gate 3 in red is Kai Ward, and off the outside in yellow, Joe Crew. Tricky conditions, really tight circuit. Don't know if he's been here before or not. Uh, it's not the ideal debut and welcome into National League standard racing, is it, for Joe?
Well, at the end of the day, right, the Kevlars that he's wearing are gonna probably be about as much use as probably gonna get as many points as their former owners.
And probably, to be fair, Plymouth is a track
Probably get
Scotty
more.
struggle at, so you've got a point with that.
Thanks for reminding me. The tape's rise there for heat number 3. Away we go to solid start there for Sam McGurk. Mickey Simpson's there with him as well. One mistake for McGurk and Mickey will be through, but Kai Ward worked his way now into the third place position. As to be fair, as we expected, Joe Cruz about half a lap behind, I would say maybe. But at least he hasn't fallen off yet. So Dave Waters can exclude rider replacement as they go into the next lap. Oh, this is processional. Sam McGurk's still leading, Mickey's still second, Kai's still third, and barring any form of mechanical failures, something tells me it probably isn't going to change. As we've got one lap left to go.
Joe Cruz
Joe
fell
Cruz
off.
binned it.
The Reds have now come on. No, Dave Waters, he'll rerun that, even though the race as a contest was over. Mickey nor Kai were
Ward.
catching Sam there, let's be honest.
No.
It's
Oh my God,
absolutely
it's
bucketing down.
chucking it. It's chucking it down. Plymouth, call it off and then tell the stream people I want my money putting over to Plymouth versus Scunny.
Which we are doing a watch along to next Saturday. At the moment, has his chain
week
gone?
on Saturday.
Yeah, not this one coming, the one after. That's been awarded by the looks of this, and it has been awarded for the rider in red, Sam McGurk. Second, rider in white, Sam McGurk. Second in red, Kai Ward. And that ain't right. Mickey was second, weren't he?
I'm sure Mickey was second.
Mickey was definitely second. Second in blue, Mickey Simpson, and third in red, Kai Ward. Unless Kai Ward's got wings and flown over the top of Mickey, who was well clear of him. Doug Moore's standing there looking a tad damp, it must be said. Lawrence has got shorts on, because of course you'd go down to the south coast in shorts, why not?
So they're all stood there in the rain and I'm sat in my bedroom trying to cover up the sun so I can see the screen.
You were right about those Kevys being as much use as they were to their former owner.
Nah, there've been more use in that one race because at least they actually did something. Even if it was fall off.
And Ingram's coming out for his third ride in 4 races.
Grandad Les pushing him off, what a boy.
I like to look at that logo on his right forearm, that big red one saying D&D Media.
I wonder who they are.
Never heard of them. The lineup of heat number 4 going off the inside gate in blue is Ryan Ingram, gate 2 in yellow Eli Meadows, harshly excluded from heat 2, it's got to be said. Gate 3 in red is Ben Trigger, and off the outside in white is Tom Spencer, who didn't have a very good race in his first outing. And it's a rerun pretty much of heat 1 with Ingram off gate 1 and Spencer off gate 4. Just swap the middle 2 gates around. And with the other riders, you've got heat 1 again, and Ingram got the better of Spencer in that one.
Basically, yeah.
Imagine if they've gone all this way and it gets called off and they've got to go back again.
Ouch.
Yeah, that'd be a pain, wouldn't it?
That wouldn't be very good, would it?
I love triggers, Kevis. They stand out so much.
Blue and the pink, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Next time we need a logo, we're going blue and pink. So, tapes rise then for heat number 4, and Ben Trigger's made it. Tom Spencer's there. He goes close to Trigger. Is he going to stay on? He stays on this time. Well done, Tom. You're learning, pal. Now Ingram's getting closer to Tom Spencer. What could Ingram do? Could he do anything? Eli Meadows is towards the rear of the field. But this looks as processional as it's going to get. Trigger's half a mile ahead. Trigger should be half a mile ahead in this one. In his own back garden, basically. Ingram's closing in on Tom Spencer now, but I can't see Ryan getting past Tom, to be honest, as we've got 1 lap left to go. And the Centurions are going to open up another gap as Triggs comes round to take a win.
And the aggregate lead is now down to just 1 point in the Bulls' favour.
Close.
Very close. Trigger made that look easy. He should be, like Joe Thompson, Trigger should be going through the card. Spencer was there or thereabouts, but Gate 4's had no wins up until this point. Gate 3 has had now 2 with Triggers there. Loves a wheelie, does old Trigger, doesn't he?
He's better at wheelies than he is at racing. What? Did I say that out loud?
Ingram had a couple of shots at a wheelie last night, and the first attempt was bad, second was better. Heat 4 was won by the rider in red, Ben Trigger, second in white, Tom Spencer, and third in blue, Ryan Ingram, 4-2 to the Centurions, 15 points to 9 after 4 races, and as expected, the Centurions are struggling. The only hope was that the 2 reserves would come good, but from 2 rides, Eli Meadows was failed to score. Senna did well, but the track is going to be very different when he comes out again to when he raced it in Heat 2.
To be fair, I'm more concerned that bar on the 4th turn looks closed.
Can't go to Speedway without having an alcoholic beverage.
Absolutely not, as you'll see in our vlog whenever we put it out from Scunny versus Oxford.
I ain't even contemplated starting editing it yet, to be honest.
I don't blame you, to be
Not
honest.
even thought about editing it yet. I ain't even saved the videos, let alone thought about editing it. I want to go on that unicycle thing on the centre green. I want to go on that.
That might provide better racing than the actual Speedway.
Sam McGurk is the rider replacement in this one. So far, Lawrence is sticking to the same order. Last night, Spencer was the first, Sam McGurk was the second. Last night, Max James was the third. I'd imagine it will be Senna or Eli. And then Aaron Butcher was the RR in 13, obviously, because the other 3 are all with him.
Yeah, what you said, basically.
Have you got a programme printed off for this one?
Yeah.
Who are these again? Charlie Southwick and Mickey Simpson. No, Kai Ward and Mickey
Kai
Simpson.
Ward and Mickey Simpson.
Close enough.
Basically the same.
They're both right for the Centurions.
Yeah. And they're both people.
Wow, that does help.
Well, you never know what things are this day and age, but I believe they both identify as people.
This Terrace Chocolate Orange is hitting the spot. Highlight of my night so far, this. Mickey Simpson's on Ryan Ingram's
It was
bike.
on Ryan's bike. Maybe Mickey can get it to go fast.
To be fair, Ingram, 4 paid 6 so far. Line-up of heat number 5. Gate 1 in yellow is Aaron Butcher. Gate 2 in red, Kai Ward. Gate 3 in white, the rider replacement, Sam McGurk. And off the outside in blue, on another rider's bike, is Mickey Simpson.
That it is.
And he's on someone else's bike off the unfavoured gate.
That's got success written all over it.
Bulls
as
have
the tape
gated.
rider. The Bulls gate on a 5-1 there with Sam McGurk taking the lead with Aaron Butcher there in second place. Mickey Simpson's there in third, but Mickey's very struggling there with Ryan's bike on turns 3 and 4. But to be fair, Butcher's just holding the right line, and Mickey just can't find himself a way past. But yeah, Sam McGurk's leading like a like an example is the word I'm looking for. Kai Ward's like at the back. And yeah, this is basically it. We've got one lot left to go. I do apologise that this commentary is very, very enthralling, as you could tell. It's a mixture of how the racing is and having a long second day back at work. But the Bulls get the first 5-1.
Mickey was there or thereabouts, although with all due respect to Mickey and Kai Ward, I said this last night as well, this is the weak link pairing for the Centurions. They were last night as well. As a pairing, like.
I was going to say, because, I mean, to be fair, Oxford was a bit crap, but Mickey was flying on Friday.
Result of Heat 5 was a win for the rider in white. Sam McGurk second in yellow, Aaron Butcher, and third in blue, Mickey Simpson. 1 point to the Centurions, 5 to the Bulls, and it makes the progressive score 16 points to 14, and the Bulls open up that aggregate gap just a touch. This was done from the gate.
It was.
It made it easier that Kai Ward absolutely missed it. So the two Bulls had all the room to play with. Mickey was that. I thought Mickey was stacking it there. They're a little bit tentative on 3 and 4, but at least we know Ingram's bike's got a bit of pace in it. Mark Phillips is having a chinwag with a photographer. Is he asking him for the keys to the tractor for Winchester's next driving lesson?
No.
No. There's Doug Moore having
Matt,
a
what's
chinwag
that?
with Eli. I recognise that monster hat. Looks very much like the one I gave him.
And I believe that's our resident Plymouth photographer on the centre green there as well.
The one we had pictures off the other day.
Yeah, the one that emailed us about.
She's not there. I asked her if she was going to be there.
She's not.
I think that might be that C something media. I think
Who
that
knows?
might be her. But yeah, the one we had pictures off the other day of a meeting here for Barker signing stuff. Yeah, it's not her. She's not here.
Oh, that's a shame.
Be interesting to see who the rider replacement is for Plymouth in this one. Joe Thompson still got his Leicester Fork covers on.
Probably too much hassle to take them off, to be honest.
And the lineup for heat number 6 going off gate 1 in red, Joe Thompson. Gate 2 in white is Tom Spencer. Rider replacement in gate 3 is Charlie Southwick, and off the outside in yellow, Senna Summers. Senna finds himself on the graveyard so far, and Charlie Southwick finds himself on the best gate. Gate stats up to this point, gate 1 and 2 have both got 1 win apiece. Gate 3 has got 3.
That it has.
The track looks like it's dried a bit. It looks like the rain's at least calmed down.
Yeah, we're not getting the spots on the camera lens now.
There are still
do I just put Joe Thompson's 3 in now, or do I wait till after the race?
Wait till after the first turn, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So the start master then walks away for heat number 6, and as expected, it's a very solid start there for Joe Thompson. And to be fair, Charlie Southwick's come up and almost claimed second there, but he's got into the third place position with Senna Summers now looking to challenge Charlie Southwick, but took the minute to no avail. Joe Thompson's just extending his lead now over Tom Spencer lap by lap, and it's going to get to a point where Joe Thompson is a full track ahead of Tom Spencer at this point. To be fair, Charlie Southwick's putting Tom Spencer under a lot of pressure. Can Tom Spencer stay on under the pressure, because he's been known to have a little bit of a slide off, especially in his racing Jake Allen, as we come into the last lap. And I think it's just going to remain a 4-2 now. I think Tom Spencer's got too much of a lead over Charlie Southwick to challenge. And just like that, it's a 4-2.
I ain't even lying. By the end of the first turn on the first lap, that result was written in.
Yeah.
There doesn't even look like there's going to be any passing, and we're watching another meeting from here in about 10 days' time, 11 days' time.
Yeah, but they'll be passing in that one.
Yeah, probably the Plymouth boys overtaking the fast-gated Scuddy boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Heat number 6 was won by the rider in red, Joe Thompson, second in white, Tom Spencer, and third in blue, Charlie Southwick. 4-2 to Plymouth, 20 points to 16, which makes the aggregate point now 3 points the difference in the Bulls' favour.
Close.
And it is just a track where it's not wide enough to really make much passing. Ben Barker manages it in the Gladiators team, but the money that National League riders are on just doesn't warrant the potential for it to all go wrong and the injury layoff and the money lost, especially if they're in championship teams or other National League teams. You know, it just doesn't add up to make
Full-time
those risks
employment.
and that, yeah.
So, gate statistics come up on the screen. Gate 1 has had 2 wins, 33% of the points with 13 points. Gate 2 has had 1 win with 17%.
Gate 3 has had 3 wins. I don't know about the percentages. And Gate 4 has had none. That went off very, very quick.
Very fast, wasn't it?
Charlie Southwick's got 2 on the bounce by the looks of it. And that would make sense because Trigger's in this one, so Southwick will be as well.
It does make sense. Not wrong.
And again, we have to thank Andy Haig for supplying our images and stuff for this. And hopefully there's been a good uptake in people purchasing to watch this. And, you know, the kids don't get the... Like, there wasn't a preview on the British Speedway website for this morning, right? They're still racing, you know.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to attract people to watch when the website of the British Speedway isn't promoting it?
That track's got more dirt on it than what Scunny had for the championship match. Never mind the National League match.
I love that Ingram's pitted next to Joe. I wonder if that's accidental. It's good to see Dan Thompson back.
Yeah, 100%. I think these National League boys just pit where they want. But obviously we all know Ryan's got a very good relationship with the Thompson boys. And
bloody hell,
yeah.
I thought that wheel was going to bounce off that then. Mark Phillips ain't messing around with that tractor, is he?
Might give it us at the turf.
If you hear anyone in the comments, drop us a line. Alan was here. Winchester, I think he's watching. I don't know. He's probably watching. There's something on the track.
So let's come off the tractor.
It's... What the... The big Plymouth logo on the wheel of the tractor is a 30-mile-an-hour road sign. Oh, God. Bob's job comes to mind. Eli's cutting carry on.
Matt Phillips was up in the old wheel was coming off there, so he didn't have to give Winchester any driving lessons.
Eli's cutting a very frustrated figure at the moment. He started really well last night. It was when the conditions got tricky. He started to struggle, and the conditions have been tricky again tonight. But there's a bit of a difference between riding Birmingham, where you've got a little bit of room for error, against Plymouth, where if you screw up, you're straight over the fence.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Did Sam used to ride for the Bellevue team, or were they Harry's cat? I think he rode for Bellevue, didn't he, Sam?
I think both of them have, yeah.
Yeah.
And now Matt Phillips has gone to grading the grass.
We've gone from speedway to grass track. Why not? And I did see final score predictions, boys. I'm still saying 60-30 to Plymouth, to be honest. Out.
49-41 to Plymouth.
My prediction would be Birmingham only need 14 more points to get to my prediction, and Plymouth need another 40. But what? He's taking a load of the dirt off onto the centre green. Just as you say, there's dirt on it. He's taking it off. and then driving back through it to put it back on his whip. What a penis.
Oh.
Yeah, back to the start. I saw something last night that I didn't like from Kai Ward, and it's a habit that you don't want to get into. Heat 12, Eli Meadows had already fell, so Kai Ward just had to tootle round and get his point. And he fell off, but instead of picking the bike up and carrying on, he dumped the bike by the air fence and just walked off the track. That's an attitude that you don't want to be getting into riders, especially at such a young age. Like, he threw away a point there.
Yeah, 100%.
Why is Dave Waters standing having a chinwag with the riders?
Maybe he's asking Ben Trigger where the nearest chip is. Because let's be honest, he is not a swimmer, he's more of a sumo.
I don't get it. I hope Lawrence didn't see him. Doug Moore definitely did, though.
Yeah. He isn't a big fan of mine.
Who's this, Dave Waters?
Dave Waters, especially after me calling him out in the pits
The
a
thing
couple
is,
of weeks ago.
the issue is, right, referees make these decisions and they're nicking money out of they're essentially taking from the poor for that race didn't need to have Eli excluded, but he was.
No.
And they're not, it's like football, the referees make bad decisions, but they're not held accountable for them. And that's the issue. Like, if you... It's been asked that if referees make a questionable decision, would they be able to explain it? Which I don't think is too much to ask for. But it was declined, that idea. And if it's a bad decision and everybody barring the referee knows it's a bad decision, is that Mitchell Clough?
It is.
Thought so.
It's all because he's got two teeth that are right at the very front, that are more at the front than what they actually are meant to be.
Ah, okay. But yeah, I would like to see referees held accountable, especially for bad decisions.
Especially when you've got, especially now when you've got replays available. Yeah.
I understand when you never used to be able to watch replays, you couldn't watch BSN or team streams or anything like that. Maximus giving the paramedics a hug.
Oh, that's nice.
But there's no excuses for it now when replays are accessible and referees are allowed to watch them before making a decision. It's no longer gut instinct.
No, 100%. And somehow refs still mess it up.
Yeah. The one at the week now, I haven't watched the Grand Prix at the weekend, but the meltdown on social media, and I'll be honest, Christina Turnbull, absolutely sound woman. I did an interview with her last year for the Birmingham Sports Club podcast. She was bob on with me, not an issue, really nice woman. But as a referee, she's made a few questionable calls. The grand final or the semi-final last year, weren't it, where she was very anti-Ipswich, it seemed.
The Trunchbull. The Trunchbull. She's just a blonde Miss Trunchbull. Matilda reference for those that don't know.
You better be careful she don't put you in a chokey or a chokehold. One of the two.
Hey, if she puts a bloody paper bag over her head, I don't mind going in a chokehold from her. Closest action I'll get from a female.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe you've just said that. And I don't think Gate 3 is going to keep up its good form in this one, I'll be honest.
You leave Joe Crew alone, we've got a race win in the bag here.
Al says she's a female Dave Waters. Speaking of Dave Waters, Al, he's our bloody ref tonight. Heat 7, Gate 1 in white, Sam McGurk, unbeaten so far. Gate 2 in red is Ben Trigger, also unbeaten so far. Gate 3 in yellow, Joe Crew. And off the outside in blue is Charlie Southwick, out for his second ride on the bounce. Two off the inside are the two to watch here. Sam McGurk's looked really quick and he's trapping really well. Trigger, maybe not such a good gator, but knows every inch of this Plymouth track. And let's be honest, there's not many inches to it.
No, there isn't. Come on, Joe, pal. Get them some points in them Kevlars, please. The previous owner didn't. We're relying on you here, pal. So, Start Marshal then walks away for the start of heat number 7. The tapes rise. Trigger move then.
Red should be on
Trigger's
for that.
move, and he has gained a bit of an advantage, but yeah, red lights are on.
I ain't having this. Waters has made a correct decision, and it weren't even close. The only question is, has he touched tapes? I don't think he did. Just misses him. But that warning will carry on through the meeting now.
This is Dave Waters. He might not have given him a warning.
I mean, Stevie Wonder could see that he moved there, let's be honest.
To be fair, so could Stevie Worrell.
Yeah. Donald Trump's busy trying to start a war, and even he knows he bloody moved. Oh, yes, my God, what's going on now? Joe Cruz just pulled off the track. Trigger has been warned. Yeah, it is all fall back, but Joe Crew is in the pits.
Maybe he's done a bomber from last night.
What's that? I ain't watched any of the Bellevue bits on the TNT coverage.
Apparently, Bomber's bike caught fire in the pits before one of his races last night. And then he went and won the bloody race.
Joe Crew has had to swap bikes. So he don't know how this one's going to react. But at least he's not going to miss the 2 minutes, because let's be honest, you could have 20 seconds to go and still make it to the start here. All 4 riders back for the restart. Same 4 riders, same 4 gates. We try again. And Trigger needs to sit still now. That warning will obviously carry through the rest of the night.
You know what the best thing that could have happened for this meeting then?
What? Trigger was excluded?
Trigger just demolishes the tapes and goes off 15 metres.
Flies round them all by the end of lap 1.
By the start of Ben 2. The tapes rise to heat 7 and rerun. And once again, Ben Trigger's made an absolutely electric start there, with Sam McGurk in the second place position. Charlie Southwick's in third. Joe Crew struggling again towards the rear of the field, and something tells me Joe Crew's probably only going to have one more ride after this one, because this is only his second ride. And the way this is going, at the end of this race, Bellevue, Birmingham are going to need a 3-all to hit the magic number. So, big up Birmingham. Ben Trigger's like 500 miles in front now.
And Joe
like
Crew's half a lap and more behind.
Ben Trigger could get off his bike, walk to Mackey's, come back, walk, and he'd still win the race.
Yeah, that was far too easy, weren't it? Joe Crew's been thrown in at the deep end. He's took the guest booking on rider availability and stuff like that. And this is why Birmingham would have been disappointed to let the lead that they did have slip last night, because 16 points for the aggregate would have been a lot better than 7. And they are still 1 point ahead with that 4-2 back to Plymouth on the aggregate, but it was a win for the rider in red Ben Trigger, second in white Sam McGurk, and third in blue Charlie Southwick. 4-2 to Plymouth, 24 points to 18 on aggregate. Must also be stressed that you can't play tactical substitutes in National League or National Trophy meetings, but you can do reserve changes. Trigger made a perler of a gate, and Joe Crew was moving. He was, yeah.
To be fair, right, we could let Joe Crew get away with moving at the start.
Yeah, we could give him a lap head start, to be honest.
And he'd still bottle it.
And it's been a tough gig coming in at reserve, let alone coming in at number 4. He would have.
Sent.
I'd assume he's been on some kind of guarantee, so it's not a wasted journey. Because let's be honest, this has got to have been expected. I'm expecting Kai Ward to be the rider in red in this one.
Just like that. So it is.
Barry
Ingram's back out.
Ingram's here again for his 4th ride of the night.
4th ride.
Heat 8 the lineup. Gate 1 in yellow is Eli Meadows, yet to score. Gate 2 in blue, Ryan Ingram on 4, paid 6. Gate 3 in white is Aaron Butcher, paid winner last time out. And off the outside in red is Kai Ward with paid 2 from 2 rides, but did run a last time out. Aaron Butcher's off the favourite gate, and he can gate as well, so there is going to be a bit of pressure on him because Eli struggled so far, but hopefully now it's stopped raining and the track's dried out a touch. Maybe we'll see the best of Eli, because it is a track he has experience of.
He has. And he rode for Plymouth before in National League meetings.
I think he has.
I'm sure I remember seeing his name down for Centurions meeting or two
in their National League days.
Yeah, back in the days of 22, 23, whenever it was.
Just as we were emerging from COVID. COVID's a long time ago now, but in those days we were just emerging from the world ending.
Well, if you ask Ray Cook, the world is still ending. Or was he just on a night out in Workington, heat number 8? Right, Ingram's trapped it, and to be fair, Aaron Butcher's just gone round the outside of him like a knife going through what butter. And that's the end of that. But please, Kai Ward, stay in 3rd so we can get a big way at the end of it. For the love of God. We're very immature here at Shoots Sale. We do apologise. As quick. we're in the next lap. Ryan Ingram's putting some pressure now on Aaron Butcher. To be fair, it could all go boobies up for us with the magic number if Ingram gets that pass. But I just can't see it happening at the minute. Yeah. Aaron Butcher's going to get the win. Ryan's going to come 2nd, and Kai's get the 3rd, so we get the way.
Way!
Way!
Ingram made a perler of a gate then. And Aaron Butcher just stuck it on the outside and went round him down the back straight. But Ingram's really done some work on his gating.
Massively.
And I'd say that's probably something to do with the Thompson boys, as Dan and Joe are both very good gators as well, aren't they?
Massively.
It's going to help him out. The result of Heat 8 was a win for the rider in white, Aaron Butcher, 2nd in blue, Ryan Ingram, and 3rd in red, Kai Ward. If I was Plymouth, I'd be really concerned about Kai Ward though, because he's the heat leader in that race. And he's a heat leader. He's their number 3. He should be winning that.
He's the heat leader on a 3.58 average.
Yeah, Mickey's got the higher average, hasn't
he? Well, he's not that much higher, to be honest. He's only a 4.49.
Yeah. I mean, he's nearly a point higher. It's like 0.9 of a point higher.
But this is what happens when you build a National League team, when you can only have up to...
Very top heavy, isn't it?
Was it 36 points?
And you've got Trigger and Joe Thompson, and Joe's on a 10.29 average as well.
Yeah, when you've got basically 20 points in the space of 2 riders, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, Joe 10.29, Trigger 8.71. The rest of the team is always going to be just a touch weaker. But then, to be fair, you'd... at the standard of, other than maybe Kent, who have got Ben Morley in their side and Ablett in their side, who are as experienced as Joe and Trigger. I think against clubs like Birmingham tonight, you'd expect Trigger and Joe to get at least a paid maximum apiece.
Yeah, 100%.
It stopped raining. That's something.
That's something. Charlie Southwick isn't going to get his hair wet now.
What a boy.
This little kid might.
That little kid's jacket's far too big for him. Who's he robbed that off? We've got 4 people watching. We keep switching between 6 and 4, which ain't bad considering it's a trophy meeting, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a strange old setup at Plymouth, and it's really weird how the fans get around.
Yeah, it can produce some decent-ish racing at championship level.
I'll tell you what, if it rains again, them commentators are going to be the first to know. Okay, now, they're a bit high up.
Oh, you're telling me?
There's a few spots on this camera again.
Maximus cheering his pal Senna Summers on.
And Senna's off the favourite gate, and to be fair, he can gate. He's very close to gate 2, though. I don't think the start marshal's going to let him get away with that, to be honest. Especially with Mickey coming in where he's coming in. Yeah, I think the start marshal's going to move him there. The lineup of Heat 9, we are cracking on because it looks like it's raining again. Gate 1 in white, Tom Spencer. Gate 2 in blue, Mickey Simpson. Gate 3 in yellow is Senna Summers, and off the outside in red is Kai Ward. I noticed this last night, and it's happened again. They're not being allowed much time between back-to-back races. The same happened last night. They normally get 2.5, maybe 3 minutes if a ref's feeling really generous, but a minimum of 2 minutes between the end of one race and the 2 minutes going on for the next. This has gone really quick. Same happened last night.
You are, if you've got 2 on the bounce, you're meant to give them 5 minutes. But refs in it, and well, it's Dave Waters. Tapes rise for heat number 9. It's a very, very strong start there for Tom Spencer and Senna Summers, but both the Centurions come up the inside there of Senna Summers. Tom Spencer's got this one virtually in the bag. Kai Ward.
Senna Summers has
Kai
broke
Ward's
down.
got it wrong. Senna Summers has just got to tootle it round now and get a point. And this will be a big heat advantage to Birmingham as we come into the next lap. There's not going to be any passing in this. Tom Spencer's got the lead. Mickey Simpson's in second. Senna Summers is in third, as long as his balls are still alright. And yeah, that's... Oh, Mickey's... Oh my God,
I've just written a bloody result in.
Mickey can't do a meeting without landing on his ass.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Now, is he going to get up and finish? No, that's going to be a 5-0. Mickey's running.
He's pushing it.
The Reds have already come on. The race has already been stopped. He ain't going to get a point for that.
Oh well, Mickey just needs some exercise to work up a kebab after the meeting.
Their red flags were definitely out when the Bulls both crossed the line. So the race has been stopped and he's not under power, clearly. So he's going to do all this and still get excluded.
The fact that the start marshal hasn't got the checkered flag out says all you need to know.
Yeah, he's been excluded. Hang on, nobody's got points according to that. It's not
It's
a 3-0.
3-0.
It's not a 3-0, pal. Senna was still under power.
Looking at that, he wasn't. Let me have a look, see what the updates say, if they say anything.
I want to message Dougmore. Senna definitely there we go, 5-0 now. Heat number 9 was won by the rider in white, Tom Spencer. Second in yellow, Senna Summers. And no finisher for the Centurions. Makes the score on the night as soon as it comes back up. What's he done here? Oh my God.
He just does a Mickey thing.
And his cutouts come out, that's why he wasn't under power, and obviously when the Reds come on. If the Dave Waters hadn't put the red lights on, he could have ran it round and got the point, but because he put the Reds on, with it being such a small track and they were very close to him, that was all she wrote for that one. So it's a 5-0 to the Bulls. A good bit of fortune going their way. but Joe Crew is out in this one, so pressure on Sam McGurk, and he's against Joe Thompson. So, oh dear. The score now 27-26, and Birmingham hold a 6-point aggregate lead again. I don't know what happened to Kai Ward there, but he is really, really bad. I reckon we're about to get our first winner off gate 4.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we're going to get our first winner off 4. Lineup of heat number 10. Gate 1 in yellow is Joe Crew. We'd imagine for the final time. Gate 2 in blue is Ryan Ingram. Gate 3 in red, the favoured Gate 3 is Sam McGurk, and Gate 3 in white. Fucking background. And Gate 4 in red is Joe Thompson. Going for a third consecutive heat win. The 2 off the outside are ones to watch here, I think, but Ingram's done himself no harm at all in this.
Imagine if Ryan just gates
and Joe rides him home.
And Joe just fends off Sam McGurk. And then Joe Crew just blasts round the outside.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the first part of that.
Joe Crew blasts round the outside as they're all finishing. He goes on to lap 2. So the start marshal then about to walk away for heat number 10. Tapes rising. It's a very good start again from Joe Thompson. Ryan Ingram's there with him in the second place position, and now Joe should really look after Ryan here, but he probably won't. Sam McGurk's in third, but one mistake from Ryan and Sam's going to be through. And that 5-0 that the Bulls have just had is going to be reversed once again by the Centurions if things stay like this. And to be fair, Ryan's pulling away from Sam now, so Joe didn't really need to team ride this one with Ryan. They're clearly the miles ahead of Sam at the minute, and Joe Crew, bless him, is still tootling round. He's turned up. He's riding on the track. But yeah, big 5-1 to the Centurions.
Easy as that. Sam McGurk suddenly forgot how to gate. I've walked quicker than he got off that start, and I don't walk, and it's raining again.
I'd like to see the replay of the start again, because I don't think them tapes went up evenly.
Ingram's been practicing these wheelies.
It's about time he did, really, innit?
Our first gate 4 winner. Tracks. We're at a point now where the result can be awarded if it gets too bad. Result of heat number 10 was won by the rider in red, Joe Thompson. Second in blue, Ryan Ingram. And third in white, Sam McGurk. That'll be the end of Joe Crew's evening. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lawrence dancing around, hoping it rains more so his riders can refuse to go out. And usually when it's wet, the losing team on the night are the one that get to the final say, and
normally it is, yeah.
Nah, nothing wrong with her. Them tapes went up. McGurk just missed it.
No, just my eyesight. Then.
Gate 2 and 4 went up perfectly. It was 1 and 3 that just didn't bother moving. But not the tapes, more the riders.
We've
still got 4 people watching. Yeah, it's one of them, and we're having a track ride.
Matt Phillips to I would say Matt Phillips is there, but he's just stood on the stand, just looking at the track.
Has someone got 2 on the spin?
No.
There's an RR in this one for Birmingham, but it won't be Sam McGurk.
Sam's already had one.
And Joe Crew's not going to take it, let's be honest.
I imagine Joe Crew taking one. Team scores at the minute: Joe Thompson 9, Kai Ward 2 and 2, Mickey Simpson 3, Ben Trugger 6, Charlie Southwick 4, Ryan Ingram 8, paid 11, Birmingham Bulls Aaron Butchers 5 and 1, Sam McGirt 9, Joe Crew 0, Tom Spencer 8, Senna Summers 5 and 1, Eli Meadows Nout. I thought I'd do that while it was on the screen. on the very dodgy screen.
2 minutes are on. Tapes have gone up, and now the 2 minutes is on. Ingram's standing there with a little fan thing blowing around his noggin. I can't see who the RR is in yellow. Is this going to be one of those where Lawrence puts Butcher... No, he can't, because Butcher's already in it.
Butcher's already in it. He can only go in 13.
Yeah, I was thinking, does he top load this one in the hope it rains more and take the hits in 13 and 15, where, let's be honest, he's gonna anyway. Surely to God they're not putting Joe Crew in as the RR. Surely not.
Senna Summers.
Heat 11, Gate 1 in red is Ben Trigger, still unbeaten from his 2 rides. Gate 2 in white is Senna Summers. Gate 3 in blue, Charlie Southwick, who's looked really good tonight actually. And Gate 4 in yellow is Aaron Butcher, bounced back after a last place in his first one with a paid win and a win respectively, although it does come off the difficult Gate 4 this time. And against Trigger, it's not going to be easy.
100%. Centre Green presenter try to get 20 people in the crowd G'd up.
There's still more people here than there was at Perry Bar last night.
National League and National Trophy meetings just aren't attractive to supporters.
It's unfortunate because we've saw better racing at Birmingham from the trophy team than we have the Brummies.
100%, and to be fair, I've said, well, both the double headers we've had at Scunny this year, the National League meeting was better than the Championship. But fans aren't bothered on the future, unfortunately. As the tapes rise them for heat number 11, Ben Trigger's got there, and I think everybody virtually expected this. Senna Summers just blast himself around the outside there, and there's a battle on at the back as well between Aaron Butcher.
Oh! Butcher's going for that. That's going to be stopped. Reds are on. Senna's going to be fuming. Aaron Butcher will be disqualified for that. He locked up and Charlie Southwick clattered into him. Charlie Southwick left the track, but he only left the track because he was ricocheted off Aaron Butcher. Aaron Butcher goes for that all day long. Senna Summers going to be absolutely livid with that because he'd out-trapped the unbeaten Ben Trigger.
To be fair, this is Dave Waters. It's probably Senna Summers that's going to be excluded.
Well, you got a point. And the Bulls are being their own downfall here. I don't know why Butcher needed to cut back like that. He tried to run outside and then cut it back and completely overlocked it, and there was no need for him to do that. He was clear of Southwick and the Bulls were on a 4-2. There was no need for him, and an experienced rider like Butcher at this level shouldn't be making silly mistakes like that.
No, 100%.
And he's just put his team right on the back foot again now. Lawrence checking Charlie, who's all good. Aaron's gone. Senna will be fuming. Senna's bike's being took off the track here as well. Are we having a break? Charlie Southwick's bike had some damage to it.
The bikes can go back in the pits as long as the rider stays on track.
That's new for this year. Ingram, oh no, it's Big Joseph up and down the pits like a trooper.
Ingram's by the...
Oh, the exhaust's been bent. So that's one way of doing it, Big Mark. I hope it snaps off and he's just sat there. Shit! What have I done here? Sweet, that's one use for the rake. What on earth are you doing here, pal?
Talk about fixing stuff on the
Jesus Christ!
Oh, God.
Charlie Southwick's going to get back to the start line and his engine's going to fall out, his exhaust's going to pop off, his wheel's going to be bent. What the sodding hell is going on here?
Oh, Jesus.
Charlie stood there like, stop damaging my bike, I ain't got money to waste, you clown. Now Trigger's going to have a go at it. I thought he was going to bounce it off the deck then. This is one of those good old brute force moments, isn't it?
You're telling me.
Christ.
We
What
don't
on
want to
earth
see
was
the
that?
mascot giving... Cameraman, we don't want to see Maximus giving sweets out to people because he's not giving them to us. Can we go
Exactly.
back to watching the Bodge job in the
Oh,
pits?
we've gone to Trigger's bike now. Trigger's gone back, so is Kai Ward's bike sorted. I've never seen anything like that. Never seen anything like it.
I mean, there's doing things on the cheap, and then there's, well,
That.
there's that.
What's the odds now after all that? Charlie Southwick gets to the first turn and his bike goes bang.
I could see that happening.
And me. Mark
In
Phillips is
fact,
like, is the exhaust still there?
I wouldn't, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie Southwick doesn't make it off the start line.
Oh, God. And riders at this level, Mark Phillips looks well proud of himself. Riders at this level of racing don't necessarily have the money to have two bikes like riders at top level. Trigger's ready, and he'll be thankful for the second bite at the cherry because he was absolutely out-trapped by a mile there by Senna Summers.
It was. And you know what, we go back onto National League standard riders not being able to afford having two bikes or anything. I got told actually by Ingram's oldest sister, my ex-partner. Well, it's made it past the first bend. Go on, Charlie, lad. That all Leicester National League and National Trophy riders are contracted to have two bikes with them at every meeting.
And you should be really, but of different riders have got different. That's why Leicester's National League team stands out the way it does. And all the pressure on Senna in this one. For the second time tonight, Senna's the lone bull in the race. Aaron Butcher, as expected, has been disqualified, and if I was Lawrence, I wouldn't be overly impressed with him for that, I'll be honest. So, heat number 11, Ben Trigger, gate 1 in red, Senna Summers, the rider replacement, gate 2 in white, gate 3 in blue is Charlie Southwick, having had a shovel and all sorts up his exhaust, literally. No rider off 4 because Aaron Butcher has been disqualified. If Birmingham lose by 1 point out on the aggregate point, that's where it happens.
Wow. Well, we'll see what happens over the next few races. At the minute, Charlie Southwick's bike is still going after the Bod's job.
And to be
by the
honest,
rake.
we can't even blame Waters for this one. He had no other choice to make.
No, he's been all right as a referee
After
tonight.
heat 2, when he wrongly excluded Eli.
After that, yeah, what you said. I can't actually remember what happened now. The tapes rise for heat number 11, and Ben Trigger, as expected, has got there.
God.
Charlie Southwick's got there as well in the second place position, and Senna Summers is in the third place, and the Centurions now on a 5-1, but Senna Summers now blasted himself around the outside of Charlie Southwick there. Southwick back on this. This is a quality race, this, to be fair. Trigger's gone, he can go get himself a kebab and he's checked out, but I think Southwick's now just got enough in the tank, providing Mark Phillips hasn't put a big dent in it, to keep the second place. Because we've got one lap left to go now, and barring any form of mechanical failures, Senna isn't catching Charlie now at this point, which is a shame because that was a good little race for the first 2 laps for them too.
Senna's 2 in his head. If things don't go his way, that's it. He kind of checks out. But Aaron Butcher has single-handedly there turned a 4-2 to the Bulls into a 5-1 against, and Plymouth take the aggregate lead back by 2 points. And if I was Lawrence, I'd be fuming with Butcher, to be honest. He made a move that didn't need to be made and cost his team and his teammate who was beating the unbeaten rider.
Someone want to tell Charlie Southwick he can't wheelie.
Heat 11 was won by the rider in red, Ben Trigger. Second in blue, Charlie Southwick. And third in white, Senna Summers. 5-1 to the Centurions. Makes the aggregate score 78-76. I know there was a 6 in there. Now, does Kai Ward get his 4th programmed ride, or do we get the other of the reserves in? Because Kai Ward 2+2, Charlie Southwick 6+1, Ryan Ingram 8+3.
Ryan's already scheduled in this one.
So Southwick could come in there, and to be fair, he looked quick there. To be honest,
He looked alright in that one, didn't he?
He rode a good line, yeah, to get past Senna. Kai Ward's
And he's
looked
against,
awful.
And he's against Senna Summers again.
And he's got one over him already. Kai Ward's looked embarrassing, to be honest. Why do we need to keep knowing who the referees? He weren't any good before tonight. He won't be any good after tonight. It is a strange old track here, and you have to walk past the pits and actually in front of the pit exit to get to the main grandstand. It's
a bit like Kings Lynn.
Oh, is that what Kings Lynn's like? I need to go to Kings Lynn.
Yep. You have to sort. It depends where you want to stand. Like where I was last week, I was on the second bend. So you're coming behind the main grandstand on the home straight, and then you have to sort of walk through the pits to get round there. Well, that's the shortcut way anyway. Wrong way round was to walk in and then walk all the way around and all the way down the back straight.
Gates 1 and 3 are clear favourites for the points as well as the race wins at this point. 4 for 1, 4 for 3, 2 for 2, 1 for 4, and Gate 4 has 10 points. Gate 2 has 15, Gate 1 has 19, and Gate 3 has 19, Gate 1 has 21. So 1 and 3 are clear favourites to be on.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we've got a minute with Senna Summers having 2 on the bench. Do you want to quickly fill us in on what our watch-along plans are for the next few days?
Oh! Well, we've got 2 minutes.
Literally got 2 minutes.
Watch along. We're not doing one tomorrow. We're doing one on Thursday where we're doing Oxford versus Birmingham. I think we've decided in the end.
With updates from Sheffield and Leicester set in there as well.
That one. And then next week is quite the busy week for us.
Well, weekend
for
us.
We've got, I believe, are we doing Poole versus Glasgow on the Wednesday?
BSN, and it's, probably.
Yeah.
It'll be the debut of William Cairns.
I think there's a meeting as well on the Thursday. I'm not 100% sure. Then we've got Friday, Saturday and Sunday. How lucky are you?
Friday and Sunday are absolutely definite. Saturday's 80-20 in favour of being on at the moment. I'll fill you in on that in a bit. Hit number 12, Gate 1 in red, Kai Ward, Gate 2 in yellow for his second ride on the spin, Senna Summers, Gate 3 in blue is Ryan Ingram, and off the outside in white is Sam McGurk. Really surprised to see Kai Ward keep his spot here, I won't lie to you.
I think if this been
close.
A championship match, Kai Ward doesn't see this ride. But because it's a development meeting, I don't think Mark Phillips or Barry Big Shop is too fussed.
I'll tell you what, right, if Plymouth get their entire team firing like this, they're a dark horse for this national trophy, and they've got a lot of meetings in hand. This is only their 3rd meeting.
Ooh. So the tapes then rise for heat number 12, and it's a very good start there for the Birmingham Bulls. Senna Summers and Sam McGurk have got there. Ryan Ingram's there in the 3rd place with Kai Ward at the rear of the field, which in any other national trophy or league team, Kai Ward would, to be fair, be as a reserve, not as a heat leader. And one of the 5-1s that the Centurions have just had going to be eaten by the Bulls.
1 and 3 are the favoured Gates, but the Bulls made it off 2 and 4 there, and then streaking away.
And Ryan's trying, bless him, to put Senna under some pressure, but it just isn't working at the minute. Maybe Ryan needs to go and ask Mark Phillips for a bodge job. But no, it's going to be a big 5-1 to the Bulls and closing that gap.
Ooh, Ingram was close at the end though.
He was.
And that was all done from the start. Both the Bulls riders gated. I did think Sam McGirt maybe had a little bit of a nibble. I'd be interested to see that again. But there was no doubt in Senna Summers out-trapped both of the Plymouth boys, and Sam McGurk did as well, but I still think he had just a little bit of a roller. But that edges the Bulls back into the aggregate lead, but I will already write the 5-1 in now for this one. For the Centurions, the result of Heat 12, won by the rider in white, Sam McGurk, second in yellow, Senna Summers, and third in blue, Ryan Ingram. Kai Ward, as expected, at the back. I don't know why he kept his spot in that race, to be honest. Although, when you know you've got the unbeaten Trigger and Thompson out in 13, Watch Sam.
Yeah.
I think Sam rolls. It was Ingram that had a little bit of a nibble.
In the words of Thomas Jorgensen, that was a perfect start.
Ingram definitely rolled before the start, but missed it. We've gone up to 7. Most viewers we've got because we're nearly finished. People just like us to shut up.
I like it when I shut up as well, to be honest. That's when I start talking. That's when I start talking sense.
Yeah, you've got a point. You admitting earlier on that you like to listen back to these to send you to sleep. Oh dear.
It's like I'm reading myself a bedtime story.
You're doing your own audio book.
Scunny Dan, the autobiography coming soon.
God. And it looks like we're having a little bit of an interval. Joe was ready to come out. He's coming back to the pits. The paramedics have left the centre green as well. Are we having a... And Charlie Southwick's being interviewed on the Plymouth stream. We obviously can't hear what's being said. But he's been solid enough tonight. Paid win, a second and 2/3.
Both Plymouth reserves have done well tonight, to be honest.
Brilliant, haven't they? And they've really covered Kai Ward and the rider replacement issues. Mickey's been fine enough. Unlucky in that one to stack it from second, but he's been solid enough, to be fair.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And, if you are still listening to us, get yourselves in the comments.
Yeah, we're
Ingram's having a chat now.
We're on to filler mode, aren't we? Nice bit of plug-in for our logo there, Ingram. What a boy.
What a boy.
We've both got
Plugs
our time for Ryan. He's a really good lad.
Plugs our logo and then the screen goes to poo.
Yeah. Obviously you went out with his sister and I met him through SC, but he's plugging us again there. What a boy.
What a man.
And he has
keep picking your nose, pal.
He has done us a solid by sticking our logo as big as it is on his forearm where it's going to get seen, and fair play. And we obviously whacked a fair bit of sponsorship money into him this year, which we probably will do again next year, to be honest, because he's been good as gold with us.
Yeah, no, he's been sound, to be fair, and yeah, I still see little 7-year-old Ryan in that.
15-year-old that story.
Oh, I'm never gonna get it out my head.
Oh God, I ain't got it out of my head since you told me either, to be fair. So
that's been stuck in my head for about 8 years now.
So, as Heat 13 is right up on us, here's a funny story from last night, and I'm going to try and say it as PG as possible, but might just have to call a spade and say it how it was. Andy Dugmore looks really grey there, and that's worrying because he's not that old. Aaron Butcher's being interviewed now. He does not look happy, does he?
He's not the happiest of chappies, is he?
But even when riders are struggling, it's like he was rightly disqualified, but still just coming off the back of a disqualification. Then he's going to be coming out as the RR in 13 to stop and do the interview. You know, some higher league riders probably, and he's even having a laugh and a joke at the minute as well. It's, you know, the younger riders that are just coming through have got the right mentality of, you know, if you get offered an interview, whether you're having a good or bad night, take it, because you don't know who's watching.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call Aaron one of the younger riders.
Well, less experienced.
He's been going round a few years, but yeah, I mean, well, it's like, look at Ace Piper, I know he's obviously riding in the championship, but
Mm.
look at how he's been with us. I mean, bloody hell, I was sat in the pub with my dad on Father's Day, and me and Ace was just texting about how crap the train services are in the UK.
Yeah, it's the lower league riders will always say yeah to an interview, and your big names and people like that may not necessarily do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even Sam McGurk's having a chinwag now, who's he's had a solid enough night this evening, to be fair.
Yeah, it's been good, and the the picture quality's not always been there, but as a service, they're having a bit of an interval. The announcer's gone and got an interview with a couple of riders from each team. Like, there's a balance. Some teams
Mm.
are very pro their own club, which they're absolutely within their right to do on their own streaming service. But this is a good balance.
I mean, some streaming services don't even go to the pits and get interviews mid-meeting.
Hello, Scorpions TV. How you doing?
How you doing, pals?
Oh yeah. And it's something to keep the viewers entertained. I'd rather listen to a couple of riders interviewed than a couple of idiots talking. And obviously, we're sitting here talking now, but we can't show the racing. The club streaming services have the ability to do interviews should they so desire to. Or if I know
Mm.
when you were there, they used to get riders come in and you'd sit and have a quick chinwag, but even that don't happen anymore.
No, that doesn't happen nowadays. And to be fair, with how quick Scunny normally do their meetings, although we've been quite slow the past
Yeah,
two meetings,
and I've
it's
carry on.
it's a lot for a rider to go from the pits
Mm.
to the streaming office to go back.
But now you
I
never
know it.
used to really have an interval, did you? But now you do because
No,
you've got the kids race and stuff. And I do think you're gonna get to a point where your slower last couple of meetings is going to become regular at Scunny, which it's unfortunate because you think of Scunny, you think nice pain free Friday night, hour and a half maximum, wrapped up, done.
you know, as much as I'm not a fan of kids, I don't actually mind it. It gives a night at Scunny more of a night out feel, which is what Speedway should be
Mm.
for me anyway. You look.
The presenter just looked at Mitchell Clough and thought, nah, sod you, what, Mickey? Poor guy.
Nobody wants to talk to the Mitchell Clough. Lucas just Stigger's VSC legend and all that. Uh,
Speaking to
but
Mickey
yeah,
now, he's been a good signing. You obviously see him at Scunny every week. If he ain't spannering for another D&D Media sponsored rider in Simon Lambert, then he's racing for the Steelers and now for the Centurions, and he's going along quite nicely, to be honest.
yeah, for sure. I mean, he was riding like a man possessed for the Steelers on Friday.
Hmm.
He was great. He's one of these riders that you know there's a good rider in there.
You've just got to unlock it.
You've got to unlock it, and fortunately for Mickey, he hasn't really had the chances to unlock all of that potential that he's got.
He's definitely got the
Um,
potential to be a championship reserve. I think he has. From when I've seen him ride, he's got that ability, and if he can get it all right and catch a little bit of the knowledge and stuff like that, I think he has got that potential. Especially if, like we expect, there's going to be less of a differential between the leagues next season as well.
yeah, for sure. Obviously, if what we've um, heard does come true, then I'd imagine Mickey could be one of them reserves potentially in demand, and I wouldn't be against having him at Scunny in a championship
Oh
standard
God,
role.
Mr. Haddad said, don't ask Lawrence about Dave Waters for Christ's sake. Lawrence will be getting a fine through the letterbox. We've cut away now. He goes to speak to Lawrence. That even Plymouth don't trust Lawrence not to say something he shouldn't. Dave Waters is. Oh God. Oh, gee. Lawrence is looking at him like you're talking shit, mate. Shut up. Lawrence's face, he's trying not to. They are having a laugh and a joke. That was an awful decision, no, let's be honest. And now the announcer's going to interview him, so Lawrence might not call Dave Waters useless now.
Oh, but I did.
And I stand by it.
And I did it to his face.
Yeah.
Oh, so
there's you getting banned next time he's at Scunny reffing.
A little story time for you then. So I was just having a chin wag with the clerk of the course at Scunny because she brought me some sweeties, lovely lady, and she says to me, "Oh, there's the referee," and like, "Oh, it's that. See you next Tuesday. That bloody cost us at Oxford. Fat useless end of the cactus."
Oh God.
And clerk of the course just looked at me. She's like, "You know he stood behind you, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, that's why I said it." Says, "You can't talk about referees like that." I just did. What's he gonna do? Fine me? Take it out of my wages, pal?
Yeah, it's one of that, as expected. Aaron Butcher comes in white here. So, a story about Heat 13 last night. After the track had been very overwatered, Heat 13 came up. Tom Spencer off gate 4. First Ben Bunchin gets the rough end of it, goes down, starts his bike back up, and it didn't sound brilliant, so he jumped onto the spare one. Tootled round at the back. He wasn't very quick or anything. Came back into the pits, stops his bike, throws it down, and says, "What a bag of shit that was," in front of everybody in the pits about his second bike. Brilliant.
Speedway, eh?
And I don't see anything other than a 5-1 to Plymouth. There's the overtake. Trigger's just overtaken Butcher on the way out of the pits. There's our overtake.
Then we've got a pass.
And I expect Plymouth to go within a Nats ball sack of wrapping this up. A Nat is in the little flying things.
Yeah, man.
Although Birmingham are off the favoured 1 and 3, but 2 and 4 worked last time out, so. Line up of Heat number 13, gate 1 in white, the rider replacement for the Bulls, Aaron Butcher. Gate 2 in red is the unbeaten Joe Thompson. Gate 3 in yellow is Tom Spencer, dropped just the, more than he probably would have liked points so far. And off the outside in blue is Ben Trigger, also unbeaten so far, although perhaps a little bit fortunately because he was being headed by Senna Summers when the race was stopped earlier on and he won the rerun.
Basically, yeah. Come on, boys, we haven't got all day, pals.
You've had your... Oh, you're going to want to get to bed early, ready for another 6 o'clock wake up. You got used to it again yet?
No. The 6 o'clock wake ups have gone already.
What
10
you on
past now.
10 past? 10 past. I remember your first day back and you'd sent me alarms from like 6 all the way every 5 minutes to 25 past.
Basically, yeah. Tapes rise for Heat number 13 and Joe Thompson's already got there and Ben Trigger's joined him. Spencer's trying to get up the inside there, but Trigger's got around Joe Thompson now. And if anything now, the Centurions are just going to... they're just going to extend their gap over the Birmingham Bulls. Yeah. Ben Trigger, what the bloody hell's he doing there? Still manages to hold on to the lead. Yeah, there's not a lot really happening here, to be honest, people.
No, there's not.
Yeah, I might start writing the 5-1 in now, unless obviously any form of mechanical failure or little slidey offs that could potentially happen as they go down the back straight. But it ain't going to happen, let's be realistic. Ben Trigger looks well happy, and Joe just exists in second.
And they were miles clear of the Bulls pair, and I'll be honest, I think it's just going to get worse because it's either going to be Senna and Eli in Heat 14, which I'd imagine it will be, but Eli's failed to score so far. Senna's been solid enough, but Eli's failed to score, and Mickey Simpson and Charlie Southwick they're against, and Charlie's on confidence as well, so yeah. The only question left is, will Barry Bishop give this pair in the Heat 15 to get their full maximums, or do you give it to somebody like the two reserves maybe? Heat 13 won by the rider in blue Ben Trigger, second in red Joe Thompson, and third in yellow Tom Spencer. 5-1 to Plymouth, 43-34 on the night, and 84-82 on aggregate. The Bulls need a heat advantage back in this one, ideally a 5-1. I'll be honest, I don't see it happening.
It's going to be very tough.
I think this would have been closer had Max James have been here.
Yeah, 100%.
You can cover missing one rider maybe, and the Bulls programme last night actually said that they'd contacted Connor Coles to guest for both meetings, and that's Senna Summers in white here replacing Joe Crew. They'd actually contacted Connor Coles to guest for both nights, and his van was off the road, so he wasn't able to do it. They'd asked him to guest in place of Darryl Richings, which would have given them a bit of an opportunity. Max James is second, third in the averages, so everybody barring Connor Coles could have taken an hour for Max James, and they'd have covered that a little bit better, I think, than what they had tonight. The lineup of 14, gate 1 in blue is Charlie Southwick, gate 2 reserve switch with Senna Summers coming in, gate 3 in red Mickey Simpson, and off the outside in yellow is Eli Meadows. Gates 1 and 3 are still the favoured, but 2 and 4 have come to the party a little bit in the last couple of races, so it is pressure on the Bulls reserves now.
Mickey's had a steady night. Start match, then walks away for race 14, the penultimate one of the evening. It's a fairly even start there, but it's Senna Summers that gets there first.
Oh,
Charlie
Southwick's off.
That's down to the Mark Phillips bog job. Are the Reds coming on, or has Charlie got off track? It looks like Charlie's got off track, but it looks like...
Oh my good God!
And has Eli got off the track? No, Reds are on.
Eli has Eli's cracked his gonads now. And X, and it's all on Senna Summers again. For the third time tonight, he's the lone bull in a race. Eli was guaranteed a point there. What is he doing? And Charlie Southwick will also be disqualified because he wasn't under peril when the red lights came on. So it'll be a match race between Mickey Simpson and Senna Summers.
Basically, yeah. I'm surprised half of Charlie Southwick's bike's still together, to be honest.
Why didn't they try and get Cooper Russian to the Bulls, said Ian. Because Cooper Russian's got a really busy few days, which I found out today. He guested last night. He's not racing today, sorting his bikes, then he's racing tomorrow at Kings Lynn against the Leicester Fox Cubs, and he's racing all weekend as well. So,
is it this weekend Oxford and Leicester's got the double header?
I think it might be, yeah. The machine examiner checking out Eli's helmet. Doug Moore's there, he obviously does Eli's socials and stuff like that. Barry Bishop's gone to see if Eli's alright. He's been awful. There's no other way to say it. Eli's been awful tonight. He ain't looked like scoring, and he was guaranteed a point there, and he binned it.
I'd be interested to see Eli's crash again, because that looked like the kind of crash that would happen if like a chain come off or something.
I think he looked initially like he'd straightened up. Whether a chain did go or not, we'll see. Spencer's gone out to check on him, but that pretty much wraps up the aggregate bonus point for Plymouth now as well, I'd say, and they've been more than worth it, to be honest. So Barry Bishop went all the way down, but Lawrence said his dodgy knee has just past the pit gate. Work smarter, not harder.
Basically, yeah. But if you look at the bright side, right, Plymouth aren't going to hit 60 like you said they would earlier.
To be fair, I wouldn't have been shocked if they did, and I wouldn't have been mad if they did, because especially their reserves, they've covered a really poor Kai Ward and rider replacement really well with the two reserves going as they are, and I have no doubt Charlie Southwick would have scored again had he not have fell on the first turn and retired. If that race had been stopped where he fell, he would have gone anyway, because there was no bunching or anything there, he just straightened up. So it's a two-rider match race. No riders off 1 and 4. Gate 2 in white, Senna Summers, and Gate 3 in red is Mickey Simpson. Senna Summers has been really good in these lone bull races. He's getting as close as he can to gate. He's not going to be allowed to start there. No chance. He's all the way over the gate. The line separating 1 and 2. I know there's no rider off 1, but your elbow has to be in the box, and it's not.
Looks like the start marshal's allowing it then. The tapes rise for our Week 14 match race. It's a fairly even start there, but Mickey just gets to that line first, and Mickey's got the lead now over Senna Summers, and to be honest, Mickey's just pulling ahead of Senna now, and it's going to take a miracle for Senna to get around Mickey now at this point. I mean, it's going to be an extra 20 pence in his in his pocket after the meeting, but yeah, barring any form of mechanical failures or fall-offs for Mickey, which, let's be honest, this is Mickey, it could happen. Got 1 lap left to go though, and yeah, Mickey's winning it. Senna's in second. That's about it really. Not a lot's happened in this race from the gate.
Mickey just got the gate right when it counted then, didn't it? But to be fair, Senna's been the Mr. Reliable in the other 2 races. He's been the lone Birmingham rider, so Mickey was always going to get it right at some point. Hutty, Heat 14 result. Senna came second, which now puts him on 9 plus 2 from 6 rides.
I must have done some maths wrong then. I've got him on 8 paid 10 from 5. Maths.
He got according to mine, he's got a win, a last, paid second, a third, a paid win, and a second just now.
I've got 3 not 2 and a bonus, 1 2 and a bonus.
He got 1 and a bonus in his third ride, I think. And he's just got second there. You haven't put that result in.
Who knows?
E14 was won by the rider in red, Mickey Simpson, and second in white, Senna Summers. 3 points to 2 in the Centurions' favour, and they are now 3 ahead for the aggregate point. And it's going to be Joe Thompson, Barry Bishop's having a chin wag with him, and probably Ben Trigger to wrap this up. For the Bulls, you could put Senna in. I think he's earned it, but I think Lawrence will go with Sam McGurk and Tom Spencer. And it is Trigger and Joe Thompson for the Centurions. And I think if this had already been wrapped up, I think we may have seen an Ingram or maybe a Mickey out for another ride. But this has got 5-1 written all over it already for the Centurions, to be honest. Birmingham will have gate choice, and it is Tom Spencer and Sam McGurk. And Senna Summers is there for the conversation, but I don't think he'll be the one in. I think Lawrence will go with Sam and Tom, but Senna's done his job, especially after the awkward one last night that he had, the uncomfortable one he had last night.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a disappointing trophy for the Bulls. This team that they signed at the start of the season looked like a team that it looked like the standout team in the trophy. And it's just not happened. Senna's done, he's taking his race jacket off.
Again, it's the same sort of in the championship now as well. There isn't enough meetings for these guys. And, you know, they're not going to get any consistency if they're not getting any meetings in, are they?
The National League is ramping up a little bit now, but the trophy's really short in it. Joe Thompson's going in red, so that'll be Trigger in blue. We don't know who's going in white and who's going in yellow. We know the riders, we just don't know the colours yet. Lawrence is cutting a happier figure than he was 10 minutes ago. But it is a big case of what could have been with this Bulls team.
Yeah, for sure. In one of them evenings, on it.
I do like Senna Summers' work ethic though. If he's not riding, he's spannering, usually for Luke Killeen at Oxford. I really like his work ethic, that when he's still involved when he's not racing. Sam McGurk's in white, so Tom Spence will be in yellow. I'd imagine Birmingham have taken 1 and 3, which gives the Centurions pairing 2 and 4 if they have gone with 1 and 3. But to be honest, it wouldn't be a shock if they have, because 1 and 3 have been the better gates. But the Centurions pairing got a 5-1 off 2 and 4 in Heat 13 with these same 2 riders. Yeah, but I really like Senna's work ethic. It's a bit like Mickey Simpson, who, you know, obviously works for Cy, spannering when he's not racing, and Senna's always spannering for Luke, and Luke returned the favour last night. He was spannering for Senna at Birmingham. It's a good ethic to have.
I think it was the same at Scunny on Friday. Senna spanned for Luke in the main meeting, and then roles reversed for the Steelers and the Chargers.
It's a good work ethic to have in it, because you're not all this league and this level of racing, and it's not always going to be just racing.
No.
So, and the Centurions are off 1 and 3, so we don't know who won the toss. We just know that the Centurions got 1 and 3 in Heat 1, unless the Bulls opted to go to a 4 or whatever. But it's bizarre one if they did choose to do that. Heat 15 lineup going off gate 1 in red. Joe Thompson paid maximum after 4 rides. Gate 2 in white is Sam McGurk. Gate 3 in blue is Ben Trigger on a full maximum after 4 rides. And off the outside in yellow is Tom Spencer. The only questions left to be asked: can the 2 Centurions wrap up a full and paid maximum respectively? Off the favourite gates, with the pairing they've got, there's no way they're not.
Well, they've done it by the back straight. Tapes rides for 8:15, away they go.
That's that's.
Tom Spencer's down.
Trigger's cleaned him up. That's bunching every day of the week.
First bend in it.
But that weren't Tom's fault. Trigger's cleaned him up. Yeah, Trigger's out. Trigger's out of shape, to be fair, but it is bunching. But Trigger is out of control at that point. That'd be interesting to see. It will be all 4 back, but make an argument for Trigger's exclusion. He was snaking all over the place.
Fair play to Tom. He's come straight back up onto his motorcycle.
He did this last night. This was where he did a couple of practice starts and checked, and it sounded funny, and then went back in the pits and said the second one was a bag of SH1T. Let's hope he doesn't have to change to that second one tonight. I think it'll be all 4 referees.
Did you know Dave Waters is the ref?
Not a clue.
Dave Waters is a big chap.
And
he's a very butch gentleman, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? Spencer straight back round. No work done, no nothing, straight back. He did this last night as well. This is exactly what he did last night. Sam McGurk had made an awful start, and it is all 4 back. I'd have probably been pointing out, if it were me managing, I'd have been pointing out that Trigger was all out of shape and snaking, so he weren't in control. I think if that happens anywhere else, he's gone.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't think it should be any different just because it's happened on the first turn either. But he's back in. Joe Thompson nearly wiped out Barry Bishop.
He'd have done us all a favour. Did I just say that out loud?
Same 4 riders, same 4 gates. Last race of the evening. We've still got 6 people watching us. We will run through the scorers at the end of this one.
Yeah, so we'll try again for 8:15, I suppose. Come on, boys, some of us have got to go to sleep to go back to work in the morning.
He had funky hair.
He did. So, Starmasher walks away for 8:15. Tapes rise, away we go. Joe Thompson's got there, Ben Trigger hasn't, and Tom Spencer's now looking to come round the outside of the lot. And Tom Spencer's about to come round the outside of Joe Thompson here. Oh, carnage!
As Joe wiped him out there, as Tom caught some grip, that's the question.
I'll be honest, I couldn't tell you. The
Neither
screen
could
went
I.
blurry.
I couldn't see it. He definitely straightens up, but is it because of grip? It's not a chain or anything. But has he been cleaned out, or has he caught grip? That's the question that there ain't a camera down that end, so we can't really see. Joe's forcing him wider and wider. I think Tom's just straightened up. And it's happening all too frequently this year. Tom Spencer falling off.
Yeah.
He's at least once a meeting he's ending up on his bum.
If he didn't put so much pressure on himself to get back into the championship, I don't think he'd be falling off as much.
Yeah, he's definitely putting a lot of pressure on himself, and he's not going to get put in a championship spot if he casts down his bike. He needs to go back to basics, take some of the pressure off himself, and he'd. Has
Barry
Dan
Bishop's
gone?
On the phone here.
Has Dan gone for that?
That was Joe Mush.
Same thing. There's a Thompson boy. Isn't it? Dan's there. He ain't racing, but he's there. But Barry Bishop on the phone has what triggers on by the phone now? Has Joe been excluded for that?
Dave Waters, isn't it? Mickey Simpson's excluded for falling in whatever.
Joe's out. Joe's been disqualified. I'll be honest. I think he's unlucky there. I think Tom straightened up himself. But Joe Thompson's been disqualified.
Even Joe doesn't get that.
It was close. You can't really see down that end, and to be fair, Waters has got a better view of it from the box because it's just a one camera for action setup, and it's on the first turn. But Joe Thompson's disqualified, and he's had a bit of a reprieve there for the Bulls. I'd expect Trigger to still go out and win it, to be honest, but it's an interesting one, and Barry Bishop's excuses are there ready if they do end up losing the aggregate. They've won the night. They've won their first home meeting of the trophy, but it's a difficult one. That it was close, but for me it looked like Tom straightened up himself. To be honest,
you notice Barry Bishop's got a John Cena ball patch.
John Cena's not got it anymore. He's had a turkey hairdo.
Oh, has John Cena gone to turkey hair?
He has. I love that Trigger's gloves even match the Kevlars. Needs a mop shop though, starting to look like me. And I love the fact that Trigger was at Perry Bar when I got there last night at 10 to 5. Trigger was set up, everything was out, and he was chilling out. I love that. None of the other riders were there, but because Trigger had stayed overnight, he went down really early and set up, and he was calm and in the zone by the time he was there before most of the staff.
And to be fair, Ben's a decent lad.
Yeah, he's a sound lad.
I've got a lot of time for him, to be fair.
Joe's sending Tom wide, but Joe does straighten up a touch, but I don't think he touches Tom, to be honest. But he does straighten up. even slightly.
It'd have been better if we was able to see like a replay from like the fourth bend.
There's no cameras down there.
There normally is as well. Shame on you, Plymouth TV. You've done a cracking job, but you could have given us an extra camera.
Senna's mechanic is working on Tom's bike. Tom had made a really good start there as well, to be honest, and Sam McGurk had just got ahead of Ben Trigger as well. The Bulls need a 89. Bulls need a 5-1. It's 5-1 or nothing to get that aggregate point. A shared heat, a 4-2, any of that's not good enough. It's a 5-1 or bust for the Bulls to take the aggregate point.
And let's be honest here, Ben Trigger's going to be chomping at the bit to get that full max.
But Ben Trigger had just gone to the back. Sam McGurk had just passed him. So it's Sam McGurk's made 2 bad starts now, and he's been gating well most of the night. If he can get it right in this one, and they can sandwich Trigger, it's a bit easier for Sam because he's got the entire inside now to play with in that first turn. And Trigger could find himself being the meat in the middle of a Bulls sandwich. We've got 7 watchers now. People are starting to watch us now. We're nearly done.
Yeah, it's nice to see that we're getting noticed.
And it's all on Ben Trigger. All he needs to do is avoid being 5-1 and the Centurions take the aggregate. The rerun of Heat 15, no rider off Gate 1 with Joe Thompson disqualified. Gate 2 in white is Sam McGurk. Gate 3 in blue, Ben Trigger, the lone Centurion, and still unbeaten. And Gate 4 in yellow, Tom Spencer, who's had it a bit rough in this Heat 15, it's got to be said.
Just a tad, hasn't he?
But I do think you're right, your point about him maybe over trying a touch to try and get back in the championship. Just take a little bit of the pressure off and it'll come when it comes, but there's no point over trying because championship clubs are going to look away if you keep falling off.
Exactly. You can try hard and then you can try too hard.
Yeah, and there's a very fine line between the two.
Massively.
So it's all on Trigger now, and if he can get out in front he can clear off, but if the Bulls can trap, it's going to be an interesting one.
So
Trigger's moved.
15.
Trigger's nibbled.
Trigger's had a bit of a nibble.
If them reds
Are the
come
reds
on, no, he's nibble. How's he got?
Well, Trigger's had a bit of a nibble there, but
the problem
Dave
is
Waters
Trigger's already on a warning, so he'd have been excluded for that.
Well, let's see what happens when the result comes up. But Tom Spencer's virtually got this one in the bag. Trigger's trying absolutely everything to get through, but I just can't see anything working. Although Trigger's now trying to go Billy Big Bollocks around the outside. He nearly loses that second position. But it's going to finish. Whoa, what the bloody hell's happening here, boys?
Lawrence needs to be on the phone for that because Trigger nibbled and he gained an advantage from it. And although Spencer's won the race, Trigger's got second, and because he moved again for the second time already on a warning, he should have been disqualified for that. And it looks like he's been allowed to keep his second. The ref needs to watch that replay back because he has a massive jump.
48-40 or 48-41?
Sod knows.
I don't know. I make it 48-41, but they make it 48-40. I don't know.
That's a bad decision. Waters has made it all about him again. Lawrence should have been on the phone. I don't know how that's been allowed to stand. Yeah, that's a bad one because Trigger would have been disqualified for that because he's already on a warning. But why is nobody questioning it? And he weren't even subtle. It was a big jump. dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Dave Waters strikes again.
Fat, useless piece of shit. That's awful referee. He's absolutely an embarrassment to refereeing, isn't he? He
He's not the
wrongly,
best, is he?
in our opinion, he wrongly disqualifies Joe in the initial staging, and then he should have disqualified Trigger for jumping while on a warning, and he lets it go. Mark Phillips just tried to give the kid a concussion.
Bodge jobs on bikes, giving kids concussions. Is there anything Mark Phillips can't do? He even tries to set his track on fire.
Awful.
I think I've completely messed my programme up, so I'm going to wait till the scorers come on the screen to give them out. Or I'll just look at updates.
£48 points to 40 to Plymouth.
Yeah, I've messed the programme up.
Oh dear, oh dear. That's what Plymouth does to us, isn't it? And we're watching these again a week from Saturday.
Lovely.
Plymouth
You
were the
sure we
better
can-
team on the night and absolutely deserved the win on the night, but there we go.
So, Joe Thompson scores 11 and plus 1. Kai Ward 2 and 2. Mickey Simpson 6. Ben Sugar 14. I can't see the. Oh, Charlie Southwick 6 and 1. Ryan Ingram 9 and 3. Aaron Butcher 5 and 1. Sam McGirt 13. Joe Croon out. Tom Spencer 12. Senna Summers 10 and 2. Eli Meadows 0.
A point or two from Eli balances that out. The the Aaron Butcher thing in whatever race it was where he screwed it up,
11.
where it was a 5-1 back to Plymouth from a 4-2 to the Bulls, screwed it up. Yeah, not great, but that 15 minutes weren't even little, weren't even subtle. It was massive. It was more than what he was warned for earlier. I don't know. We're back on Thursday, when hopefully we've got a better ref than this prick.
Don't hold your breath. We're watching Oxford.
Oh, you've got a point.
So, I've been Dan. He's been Dylan. That's been the Dave Waters